Hey guys, Max here from slurf.com to talk to you about all the GPP knowledge you need for today's slate. Today's June 2nd, and we have an early three-game slate and an eight-game night slate. So let's talk about last night. I recommended 100% Rockies. It did not work out, but that is just baseball. Some days Padres are gonna score 14 runs, and Rockies will score two at Coors. Um, on to today. We're gonna do the same thing we did yesterday, and hope that it works out. Okay, so the pitching for today's morning slate. You can roster Mad Bum, Greinke, Hendricks, Keuchel. Urias is also in play if you like to live on the edge. He's only 4K, but he's not going to go deep into the game, so you're really only thinking he's going to get you a bunch of strikeouts and not give up enough runs for a good score. Um, the stacks include the Giants, Astros, D-backs, and if you don't believe Keuchel's back, that is, I think the D-backs are definitely in play against a lefty. And Cubs, if you want to pick on the Dodgers bullpen, as I mentioned, Urias is not gonna stay in the game that long. Okay, on to the night slate. Let's decipher this awful pitching slate, shall we? To me, there isn't much of a mystery here. My favorite option is Jared Eichhoff versus the Brewers. He struggles versus lefty bats. Brewers just don't have many that are any good. Brewers also strike out a ton, but they don't chase much out of the zone. Eichhoff is in the zone about 46% of the time. So this year, so I think that's not great, but it's not bad at all. I think he's gonna have plenty of pitches that Brewers will chase and swing and miss on. Um, there aren't many safe options tonight, and I think Eichhoff is probably the safest. Matt Moore is next on my list with the loss of Sano and the overall struggles of Minnesota against lefties. I think Moore picks up a bit of a higher floor than we're used to with him. Um, he's very prone to blow up, sure. But again, this is Minnesota, and they just don't have much in the way of dangerous bats these days. Um, he also has decent upside with strikeouts, and Minnesota swings and misses a lot. Excuse me. Many people will go the Porcello route here, but I don't think I will. All he throws are two on four seam fastballs, and that's really the only pitch Baltimore can hit is the fastball these days. Um, so between the two seamer and four seamer, it makes up about 60% of his pitches. He also throws his cutter a bit. So that's another pitch that Baltimore can actually hit. I wouldn't be surprised if Baltimore went off again and went bonkers like they did yesterday versus Kelly, who also threw his fastball more than 60% of the time. Much rather pick on Baltimore with soft tossers. So Pineda is another interesting option today. I looked into him and he's gotten a bit unlucky with a 390 BABIP, which is sure to normalize. He's striking out about 23% of batters and walking about 6%. And his 3.58 Sierra shows that he should have fared a lot better than he has so far this year. I think this is a great GPP play, as Detroit can definitely go off and score a bunch of runs here, but they can also get shut down by right-handed pitching, and they strike out a lot, as is evidenced by Shoemaker yesterday and Chacin the day before. So I think Pineda could have a nice day in GPPs today, GPP only, as I mentioned. Next guy is Kyle Gibson. He of the 10% face strikeout rate facing a team that strikes out a ton versus right-handers. He's coming back from the DL, and he has not been very good in his minor league rehab start. So if he's going to be chalky against Tampa, I want no piece of him. But um, I do think there could be upside here. But I also think there's upside for Tampa bats if he is going to be chalky. I think this is a nice stack to mix in with your Rocky stack to differentiate a bit. Boyd is the last guy I'm interested in tonight. Yankees don't hit lefties well at all with a 292 team WOBA, which is bottom 5 in the league. Boyd is a lefty who does not strike out too many guys, but he's actually been pretty good in the minors this year and has picked up his strikeout rate quite a bit. His price tag is pretty low. We really don't need much in way of achieving a nice score with a SP2 today, so I think he is definitely in play. Couple guys I'm not going to be playing. Miley is one of them due to the fact that Padres hit lefties pretty well, as you saw yesterday, and Miley's just not very good. I think stacking the Padres makes sense here if Miley is going to be popular. Carrasco is the most expensive guy in today's slate, but he's making his first start since his return from the disabled list. He is on an 80-pitch limit, and he's facing a Kansas City offense that has been very good lately. They string together hits, they steal bases, and they take walks, and kind of try to get the pitcher out of the game as fast as possible. So I don't see Carrasco lasting too long in this one. So no thanks on the 10K price tag. Onto the stacks. Let's start out at Coors. Last night, like I said, did not go the way we planned at Coors, but I am going to make the same decision 100% of the time. It was a bad pitcher against a good offense in a best park in the league. So I will take that matchup any day of the week. And today is any day of the week. So I'm going to take that matchup again today against Simone, who has just been awful this year. I don't think I need to go too much into details. Just roster any Rockies that you want. I am a bit more interested in Cincinnati today than I have been the last couple days. I like them against the Colorado pitcher Butler today. I actually think Chatwood and Gray are pretty good. Butler is not. He's gotten a bit lucky this year to not be completely awful, allowing just a 267 BABIP, while still giving up a decent hard hit percentage. So I like Avado, Bruce Hamilton, and Duvall today for Cincinnati. Excuse me. Boston has been on fire and is getting Ubaldo today. Ubaldo of the 12% walk rate versus a super patient team. This could get ugly quick, and Boston is my second favorite stack today after the Rockies. I also like Baltimore on the other side, as I mentioned above, as I would like to pick a Porcello a little bit today. So I think Baltimore, guys, is a nice way to differentiate your Rockies or Boston stack. You can stack up this game, and I think it gives you good upside. Okay, so I think all the ownership is going to be concentrated on the stacks above. So I think there are some sneaky ones here, targeting against pitchers that should be popular. Cleveland versus Ventura. If they get some men on base, they could hit some bombs. I love taking stacks against pitchers that walk a lot, as they tend to prolong innings, get men on base, get into the bullpen real quick, and the softest part of the bullpen is usually the long man. And he ends up pitching a couple innings, and your offense can score a bunch more runs. So I kind of like that. So Cleveland's in play today. The Rays are in play versus Gibson, like I said. I like Miller and Dickerson here. And then the Padres, just like yesterday, stack up those righties against Miley. There are other stacks you can take today, but I suggest you stick with cores for most of your lineups and differentiate by taking some of the lesser owned stacks I mentioned above. All right, guys, I think that's it. Good luck today. And if I don't win the money, I hope you do. Peace.